Ratchet and Clank. Good news is it's not awful. Bad news is it's not exactly going to break the top three record. It's not going to be take the crown of best video game movie from the current competitors for it. Which, as I say, the three that can possibly take that title are the Phoenix Wright live-action movie, Dot Hack GU trilogy, and Fate Stay Night on Bloated Blade Works, the movie version before it was turned into a full anime. The general problem with it is that it's a generic Hollywood movie, in that it has the exact same structure you see in pretty much every Hollywood production. It's like, the hero is someone with something unique about him who has a problem with authority, and him dancing to the different beats than the rest of the universe with his crimes and not differential nonsense will save us all from this terrible disaster that no one sees coming because the actual heroes are the expected heroes are actually incompetent or working against them. And admittedly, a lot of this is based on the original game. Problem is, in the original game, they were kind of subversionary on a lot of this, and worse is the inconsistency in the dialogue. Like, half the time, it feels like they're quoting other media in the whole sci-fi adventure genre, especially lines that have been seen in this kind of general structure. First act is establishing the character that he doesn't fit in and is on the outskirts of society. Second end of first act is finding a companion or what will thrust him into greatness. Beginning of second act is him doing this great deed which gets him recognized and also loathed by a combination of the villains and heroes. He goes through the general training where he's not any good at it, but keeps trying, and also starts to get an ego because he's being worshipped as this great figure, and then comes the actual trial by fire, which he fails, and he has this whole thing about losing all faith in himself, and then the thing that made him thrust into this adventure comes back after he gets some mentorial advice, and then he actually saves the day, in this case by doing the other generic thing of gathering a bunch of people that didn't really listen to him / respected him / didn't respect others in the group, while also having the supportive support of a female member of this group that is also likewise not exactly disrespected, but not respected either, not acknowledged, because they are different from the shoot happy, kill crazy, reckless things. It's actually kind of frustrating, as a lot of this stuff was what was subverted in the video games. Now, the thing is that I am not fully briefed on the video games. The most I know of the Ratchet and Clank series has been through streams and Let's Plays by other friends of mine, and so while I'm not completely unawares of it, I'm not exactly aware of the minutia of it. I've been meaning to play the game series for quite a long time, but problem with me is I always don't. For some reason always lose time when I want to. A lot of things I see that I like would be interesting to me, and then I just never find the time for them. And Ratchet and Clank is one of about 300 series I've wanted to watch and play, but never really found the time to. And I'm not kidding. I've been keeping a list of things I need to watch and or play, and the list goes back to the original Full Metal Alchemist series in 2003. I think I've mentioned this a few times before, and I just accumulate things I need to watch in minutia or play in minutia because I never just get to it. It annoys me that the list has accumulated that much over the past decade. I'm honestly working working through it in my off time. For example, I'm watching One Piece right now. I've been meaning to do that since Funimation started redubbing the series from the god-awful 4Kids dub. I'm in the middle of Water 7 right now. But yeah, that genericness is definitely against it, and I'm looking at the critical response page, and it's getting generally unfavorable reviews because of that. Doug Walker did a video recently on when the critics are wrong, and he kind of emphasized that part of the issue is that even movies that might be good, might have something funny, and might be really entertaining, get negative press from critics because of that genericness, of how much they've seen this exact plot or this exact expected dialogue come down through the chain, and that is the main thing that is holding Ratchet and Clank back. That adherence to structure. They're not subverting it like the Lego Movie or Deadpool, which also got amazingly favorably positive reviews despite initial expectations that they wouldn't do as well because they were crass or different. And hey, I would have gone for some of the subversions that went into the Lego Movie. It was a complete subversion of the Chosen One narrative that drives me up the wall. And Deadpool works because I'm not a hero, I'm just a guy, but hey, there are these opportunities that might appear that would make me a hero, and I'm not going to take them, but I'm going to start looking for them because of the advice from someone that is actually overly nice dude. I will give it to the cast. They nail the characters, mainly because half of them, possibly almost all of them, are the voice actors from the original video games. Specifically, James Arnold Taylor, aka the voice of Titus from Final Fantasy X. Yeah, you all know him from that. I've actually not seen anything he's been a bad actor in, so props for him there. And David Kaye as Clank, and I think they help sell the movie in a more casual sense of, getting the characters right, even with the genericness of the strip. You hear the voice of the characters carry through their portrayal of them, because they're experienced in portraying them over a decade of content. They have the experience with them. The same with, I'm looking at the list because Jim Ward is Captain Quark, and I think Armin Shimmerman is the regular voice actor for Dr. Nefarious. I'm actually clicking on the voice by Armin Shimmerman at the all points, yeah. So it's like, and another thing about the movie in its favor is that it has a lot of funny lines. Like, that's the thing with the dialogue. It's both ups and downs with both these generic lines you can almost quote before as they're saying them, and a lot of the time they don't actually say all of them, but that's the implication of the narrative. And at other times it's legitimately original satire, and it's like, it's not exactly turn off your brain funny, but I had a lot of laugh out loud moments there because it was that clever. It's just that unevenness and that adherence to that structure just holds it back so much. And that's why, like I said, it's what's holding the game back. Not the game. It's holding the movie back from being legitimately good, but I don't think it's as awful as it's been getting around. It says it's received generally negative reviews, and it's probably due to them being sick of that structure. On my own side, would I recommend it? Diehards of the game series, actually pretty much everyone on this, I would say go at low peak hours if you are at all interested in seeing it, as in, when they're not selling, the tickets are not at their highest sale price. I got in there in the middle of the day on opening weekend, and it was like $6, so I probably wouldn't pay much more than that to see like big weekends where they jack up the prices and all that. Otherwise, maybe wait for it to come out on DVD and rent it through Netflix or something, because it's not outstandingly good. The video game is better, as in the original video game. I saw a short Let's Play of the new video game. It's probably better than the movie is. Yeah, video game tie-in movie that's better than the movie. That's probably never happened before. But with how bad video game movies in the West can be, it's probably the current contender for best Western video game movie, but will likely be dethroned by either Warcraft or Sly Cooper later this year, or next year. I forget when the Sly Cooper movie is coming out. I know Warcraft is this month, middle of this month, late next month. I'm forgetting when the Warcraft movie is too. Those will probably blow it out of the water in comparison, which is sad because I was really banking on the Ratchet and Clank movie to be the good one, since it's the space opera. It's the galactic consequences movie with a villain that's deconstructing planets to build his own perfect paradise, and the crazy mad scientist that creates these crazy weapons. And I was hoping it would be more like Guardians of the Galaxy and defy the critics' expectations, and it's just not that good. Now, I don't think I mentioned it, but one of the things that really kills this movie is the contemporary references. And yes, they have the contemporary references in here. Because when the movie started out, the big one is the frickin' cell phones. Oh god, the running gag about the cell phones. Because all the organic minions of the bad guy, I should say, keep texting and tweeting on their cell phones. And hey, at the beginning of the movie, there is a constant problem in theaters that are full with people, using their cell phones even after the theater runs a thing of them to turn off or put on buzz your cell phone so you're not actually, interfering with other people trying to enjoy the film. Problem is, if they had just done it the first time and that been a meta gag, that would have worked. But instead, it's repeatedly throughout the film, the villain and his entourage having to point out people, all of them are on their cell phones, so it becomes mean-spirited in the way that they're pointing this out to, "Damn young kids today don't know the value of talking to people," even though they're being social and talking to people, just people that are not there right then. It's like there's this whole thing about the backlash of trying to condemn people that are using something instead of looking at the world around them, even though they're interacting with a greater world. Then it's very irritating and off-putting, and there are those kinds of moments all throughout the film that take away from the humor, because, as I said, it's a running gag that would have only been that would have stayed funny had they only did it the first time. It's the meta joke. It's the breaking the fourth wall thing. Wink at the audience. That would have been great in the first minute of the film. Because I admit, when I sit down to watch a movie, not take notes for it, not play a game, or do anything else, I end up inevitably pulling out my cell phone and reading something while I watch the movie, because I am so freaking used to doing at least two things at the same time to not lose time on other things I want to do. I always look to the side of the camera because I'm so used to having a teleprompter right there for me to focus on and read off of, and that's why I don't focus on the camera. And it's that kind of thing. My eyes need to focus. I have my focus almost permanently split because of this need to do so many things at once. And it's like, you ever think, are people that annoyed with multitasking or trying to keep people attentive that they can't actually understand people being attentive to multiple things? It annoys me, and I don't know why. So yeah, Ratchet and Clank. Not completely awful, but I wouldn't say it was exactly good.